come and move that in my direction.
A long time ago, Mindanao was covered with water and all the sea-covered lowlands so that nothing could be seen but the mountains jutting from it. There were many people living in the country and all the highlands were dotted with villages and settlements. For many years, the people prospered, living in peace and contentment. Suddenly, they appeared in the land four horrible monsters which in a short time devoured every human being they could find. Kurita, a terrible creature with many limbs, lived partly on sea but its favorite haunt was the mountain where the rattan palm grew. The second monster, Tarabusaw, an ugly creature in the form of man, lived on Mount Matutum. The third, an enormous bird called Pa, was so large that when on the wing it covered the sun and brought darkness to the earth. The fourth monster was also a dreadful bird having 7 heads called Havok. Mount Gurayan was its home. When King Indarapatra heard what happened to Mindanao, he asked his brother to help Mindanao people. Sulayman listened to the story and as he heard it, was moved with pity. I will go, and I shall land the avenged. Sulayman went to the mountains through the air, landed where rattan grew and the land but not good living things. And no sooner will the mountain began to move, Kurita came. It sprang at the mat and sank its claws into his flesh, but Sulayman, knowing at once that this was a courage of land, drew his sword, cut Kurita into pieces. The next place visited was Mount Matutum. There was a noise in the forest and the movement in the trees. With a loud yell, Tarabusaw leaped forth. Wah! Then Tarabusaw used all powers to try to devour Sulayman, who fought back. Then Sulayman killed him. Sulayman visited Mount Bita. Here Havok was present everywhere. As he looked toward the sky, he saw a great bird that was swooping down on him. He struck and the bird fell dead at his feet. Indarapatra saw the little tree wither and traveled also to look for his brother, but their brother lying under the wings of Havok. Indarapatra washed the face of his brother. Then his brother became well. Then he said to his brother to go home now immediately to heal the wounds that he've got. One day, in the course of his search, he caught sight of a beautiful woman. When he hastened toward her, she disappeared through a hole in the ground where she stood. Disappointed and tired, Indarapatra sat down on a rock when looking about. He saw near him a pot of uncooked rice with a big fire on the ground in front of it. This revived him, and he proceeded to cook the rice. As he did so, however, he heard someone laugh nearby, and turning around, he beheld an old woman who was watching him. As he greeted her, she drew near and talked to him while he ate the rice. Of all the people in the land, the woman told him only few left, and they hide in the cave in the ground from where they never ventured to come out. As for herself and her old husband, she went on. They had hidden in a hollow tree, and this they had never dared to leave until after Sulayman killed the various bird Pa. At Indarapatra's request, the old woman led him to one such cave. There he met a headman with his family and some people. They all gathered around the strangers, asking many questions, for this was the first time they had heard about the death of the man. When they found out what Indarapatra had done for them, the headman gave his daughter to Indarapatra in marriage, and she proved. Then the people all came out of their hiding places and returned to their homes, where they lived in peace and happiness, and the sea withdrew from the land and gave the lowlands to the people. Then they lived happily ever after. The end.
Thank you for watching.
Swedish fish.